Okay, we're live. Lovely. Your channels, power, and bees? Yes, it's public. And I want to change the quality over to 144p on my phone. And also turn on portrait lock. Go back to the live chat. Alright, everyone. Hi! Sorry it took me forever to actually start streaming today. The reason was because I was having crashes. Lovely. So you may notice that there's no longer a table in here. It's just a block upon which it looks like a wedge of cheese from here. But it's really my red velvet cake from my birthday. Let's just pretend in the Minecraft world that things never spoil and whatever, and it's just still good. I mean, to be fair, it's still around. It's like, it's the leftovers. It's that kind of stuff that you just sort of keep in the freezer. Or like, well, I mean, you could keep ice cream cake in the freezer for a really long time. I know I did. It wasn't this year. I think it was last year or the year before that. But I kept my the remains of my ice cream cake in the freezer for 2 weeks. My mom started complaining because I didn't take it out and eat it because it was just sort of taking up space, and we needed more room. But anyways, am I the only one who? Oh, that was that. Okay, that's because it's refilling my chaos energy. I guess it's not showing me how much chaos energy I have. But seeing as that's not shooting anymore, I'm probably fully charged. But yeah, I made a passive chaos pylon so that whenever I use my tools on supercharge mode, I can easily refill. I have an extra. I am gonna show you guys what I have built in the meantime. But I have moved the matter condenser over here. I realized that I actually had it on the wrong setting, so that was lovely. But we're ready, you guys. We're ready. We have the singularities so that we can connect to the two bases. Now, we need somewhere that it doesn't matter that this blows up. So let's go, that's the Thom shop, and this is the forestry meadow, which now, by the way, has a astral gateway on it, or celestial gateway, that's what it is, celestial gateway. I have not fully built this place out, but I have done the floors. I do really like this. This is the trick that Chosen Architect had in one of his videos for All the Mods 3, and I gotta say, it is actually a really handy little technique. Basically, with Chisel, you have the ability to first select this main block, and then when you go and select your Chisel, you can select, well, let's say you set up all your stuff to be smooth, but then you go and select this and then close out of the UI. Then you go and left click in the world and you can chisel live to change the form to whatever you've selected in your iChisel, which is pretty dang cool, if you ask me. I did not know you could do that, but it's a really nice bit of functionality so that you can add in these sort of the smooth planks, but then you have the little bits that break it up every so often. There are some areas where it looks like there's just endless planks, but I have made sure that there's at least one of these planked ones every row. Every row of blocks like this. There are generally way more than one. But still, it's just kind of meant to add a little bit to the world instead of just making it, you know, realistic. So there's not tons of that everywhere. But anyways, I am starting to build up my area for forestry. Now there's an actual chaos node here, I just realized. Yeah, I forgot about the fact that there's a chaos node here, which does work pretty much the same as a passive chaos pylon, but this destroys mobs. Though, to be fair, it doesn't really have to work that way because I have a Mega Torch here, which prevents hostile mob spawns within a decent area. Now, over here, I need to blow up a singularity. No! My magnet ring. No. Oh no. Well, it looks like I'm going to be making 2 of these things. I really hope they don't all tie together. I will be throwing that one there and that one there. Kablooey! What? 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 They didn't become quantum entangled. Or they're not close enough? Okay, hold on. To create, drop 1 singularity and 1 ender dust. That explains a lot. I was like, I have it all set up, I have it all nice and working the last time I was playing, but I totally did not. I was this close. By the way, have I taught both of these to that? Yes, I have. All right. Ender. Ooh, I don't have ender dust in here. I should go back over to Atlantis. Warp on over. I do plan to work on my thumb shop sometime eventually. It is still not built, by the way. We will see once I go over and place down a chest with the stuff in it. For the singularity ring. Okay, so ender dust. Ender dust. Okay, so I'm assuming that what they mean is this stuff from Applied Energistics 2, which is and you can sag mill that. Oh. Right. Okay. Do I seriously not have ender dust in here? I guess not. I'll sag mill that. And then here's ender pearl powder. And then ender dust. I guess I'll grab another one of that. Because I need 2. Because each singularity splits into 2. I found that out. I can make 2. And each one splits into 2. So I realized that I was working actually pretty dang hard, but I didn't have to work as hard as I was going. So I kind of just manually went along and finished the singularities, because I actually had a crap load of dark matter, or a crap load of EMC built up in my power flower, because making cobblestone turns out, created a giant-ass backlog, and that was lagging me out to no end. I also realized that I accidentally left on that little projection block that I was using to create the rings of my thing. This is also kind of loud for me. But yeah, I turned that off as well, and actually, now it's playable! Ha! Anyways, I need 2 TNT. So, actually, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go over here. Oh my goodness. I have this attached to so many blocks, and I can't make it not be attached to so many blocks. Oh god, there's a skeleton here. Ooh, and by the way, I went and enchanted my Spectre Sword, so it does only 10 attack damage, but it has Sharpness 5 and Looting 3 and Unbreaking 3, so hopefully I'll get as many ectoplasm as I possibly can from this thing. But anyways, let's go boom boom, boom boom, and bang! Sweet! Quantum Entangled Singularities. Okay, so that's the first two. These do have their own NBT tag, by the way. This does not have any NBT tags, but this holds data. Those are specifically entangled to each other. What was there? I feel like I'm missing something. I forget what I had there. It may actually have been my flint and steel. No, that was brand new. I actually don't know. But yes, Singularity, Ender Dust, Boom Boom number 2. I was about to say, Zombie, why don't you stay there? That way you'll just, you know, blow up again. But yeah, these don't stack. So these will give me 2 completely different portals. Or, not portals, 2 completely different quantum links. One will be for the forestry area, and one will be for the Thaumcraft area. Now, this I will leave in there, and leave that as for my Thaumcraft area. But now I want to go back home to Atlantis. Oop. World loading issues. Whoosh. And I want to set up my forestry area. I want to start working on that. So, I did title this stream as, like, channels and power, but also bees. I'll go with this. Alright. So we'll see whether or not I actually get to the bees part, but I've actually been going over some old Applied Energistics videos, specifically from Non-Sanity. Now, Non-Sanity has a really interesting set of Applied Energistics 2 tutorials. Ever since the introduction of channels, the mechanics of the mod have basically been the exact same. So, as long as the game doesn't change too much, and the mod, there will still be the same basic effects, as long as you are playing with channels, which, by the way, I am. So, one of the things that Non-Sanity showed off in his Storage Extremes video was that there's technically a way for you to create a network that is exposed entirely one way and only will take up one channel on a greater collective network. I don't have the things set up for this yet, but I can really quick set that up. Do I have a storage bus in here? I do have a storage bus in here. Okay. Do I have quartz fibers in here? I do not have quartz fiber in there. So, quartz fiber. I know I will need a amount of this. I'll just keep however much. And then I would like a ME interface. The terminal, or like the small kind. And can I then get some Fluix cables and let's get the blue cable. Now, this is kind of cool because what I'm about to show you is not a hack. It's intended functionality if it still works. I want to see if it still works, because if it does, we are in business to be able to create a subnetwork for my area for my forestry area, so as to basically allow for basically a bunch of just ME interfaces on small subsets of like a larger area, if that makes sense. How do I describe this? Basically, all of this, like 8 channels can be used without placing down a controller. And controllers, they're not super expensive, but I'd rather not keep them going, especially because they actually suck up a lot of power. But I can create a technical network that only uses up to 8 channels, which is kind of all I need for some really basic automation and, like, you know, just a bunch of storage buses. Excuse me. So, okay. What I mean is, actually, I would like to have a well, this isn't even in use at all. Neither are those. Okay, for the sake of intensive purposes, I am just gonna grab a dummy drive. So, right now, this is actually going to be a warehouse area. I am just gonna use normal channels in here, but I might wind up, for the sake of just having, like, saved a few channels, if I create some sort of internal subsystem that doesn't need external resources from the rest of my AE system, I might do this trick to save channels in here. But I have a full 32 that I can use, so it's not like I'm hurting. 32, maybe more if I want to add more from other cables, because this is just from one face of a too tall thing. I have enough channels to be able to go around, really. But for now, I just have 32 from the Lime network, or from the Lime line. Interesting name. So, this is actually not what I wanted to use. This is also not what I wanted to use. I will use the smart cables. This is what I want to use. So, any storage bus. Okay, I will place that. Actually, no. What I need to do is place that and that. This will all technically be on one network. See how it automatically registered 1 of 8 channels. Now, what I need to do is slap on an interface on here, and a storage bus on here. and connect it over here. This is using 1 of 8 channels. This is using 2 of 8 channels. This still works, but they aren't properly online until I add quartz fiber. And note how these don't use up any channels. Quartz fibers don't connect any channels. Quartz fibers only are able to transfer power. These are almost expressly meant for something like this. Note, of course, that there is nothing in this drive. But if I were to go ahead and move all of these over to there, this still doesn't have power. Have I been lied to about the quartz fiber's ability to transfer power? And has this functionality been removed or some shit? No, this says 1 of 8 channels. It's technically working. Although I guess it is really far from the controller. It's also a P2P tunnel away, so... Oh my gosh, I just realized that this filter... Oh wait, never mind. I was about to say, this filtered all of them up! No, it didn't. No, it's not like that. Also, yeah, this does still have data from... what drive? What? Oh, it's all of that. It's my storage drawers that is giving me all of that. Oh, as well as my ability to craft and the setup I have over there. Okay, this, for some reason, is not powering up. I don't know why. But this is supposed to work. This is what I've seen work before. You don't technically need to do this because you actually can get quite a few channels off of even just one ME controller, and I have 2 back-to-back, which means I'm technically losing 64 channels overall, but I don't really need to worry about that because I still have 640. Wait, no. 320. Because I get 32 per side. Yes. Okay. Right. But this isn't turning on. I know that this is connected. Right? This actually doesn't say any channels on it. Oh, the P2P tunnel's offline. Wait, what? Okay, new device configuration copied to card. Let's see if this fixes that. Oops. I think I need to have it marked from there and then bring it over to here. And not shift click that. Instead, load the device configuration. I know this isn't all smart cables, so it does make it a little bit difficult to be able to keep track of where it might be having a channel problem. This does say 2 of 8 channels right now. Two of 8 channels, okay. Still says device offline. Is the problem further up than I'm realizing? I don't know. Let's go on over. Let's explore a little bit deeper, shall we? That's the one that says 2 of 8 channels. Am I not understanding how this is supposed to work? This is 0 of 32 channels. And yet this P2P tunnel connects directly to it. Oh crap. I totally hooked this up the wrong way, didn't I? Did I? I may have. Okay, hold on. Fluix cable. No, that's the wrong side. Nope, that's also the wrong side. Does this not connect like that to dense cable? Okay, it's just giving me a bunch of random colors. I think that's just random. Okay, I don't really know why this isn't working right. know the P2P tunnel is kind of the shaky part, but it should be working. Frustratingly, of course, it's not. You know what I just thought, actually? This is an ME P2P tunnel. Isn't there a power P2P tunnel? FE. Fluid item light ME. Okay. Light. There's a light P2P tunnel. Oh, of course it doesn't actually give you anything. Redstone also doesn't give you anything. Maybe those are just like uncraftable and unfinished. But there's an ME1. There's also... Oh, the FE1 doesn't have a crafting recipe. The ME1 does. I totally did not mean to do that. I don't think that fucked with anything. I hope. Carry On's actually pretty great about that. I guess that actually doesn't exist. That may well mean that I actually have to use up a bunch of cables. A bunch of dense smart cables. I guess I'm okay with that. It's just a lot of cables. Put down the cable facade, but still connect that through it. Although that does glitch a little bit, but I don't really care too much. I do have my magnet ring, I guess. Yes. Ooh, I'm a mountain biking. Well, I was about to say, ooh, I'm a mountain biking vampire witch from the future. With a rake, mom. Except, of course, that I'm not actually a mountain biking vampire witch from the future or any shit like that. That's Katya's thing, first of all. But also, I can't think of anything that I would qualify as. Any kind of, like, funny thing. Oh, well. No, not you. I am totally gonna need more of these. But that is fine. I guess for now the memory card goes in there as well as the P2P tunnels because those aren't working right. I don't know why that didn't want to work, but oh well. Dense smart cable. Oh, I guess I can't. The main reason I was avoiding using more of this was just because it's expensive, but whatever. That is not what I meant to use. Nope. I also love the fact that this creates a small pocket of air. Because right now, I don't have aquatic genes. I can't breathe underwater. So in the meantime, it's appreciated. Oh wait, hold on. Alrighty, now we go. Ooh, one of 32 channels. It's connecting. Okay, it's working. And now we can see all of the stuff in those drives. But here's the problem with that connection. So after all that diagnostic work and crap, I've figured out that this chat thing system does work, at least up to here. But now I get to tell you about the drawback of using this sort of system. It's one way only. One way! Power can technically go 2 ways because of these quartz fibers, but items and stuff can only go into the storage bus, not out. This is technically supposed to be bi-directional, and an interface can accept new items in. But because this isn't recognized as a proper, as having a proper internal storage, the way that this works means that it can only go one way. So, all the stuff in here, if it were to be pulled out, it would be put back into the drives over there. Isn't that kind of frustrating? So this sort of setup is nice if you have small subsystems for, say, automation's sake, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing this for my Thaumcraft area. I want to experiment around with this just a little bit in my forestry area, which, again, I want to go back to and work on today. But I also want to work on power and stuff because I know I'm going to need to, due to the sheer fact that these quantum rings are power-hungry whores. But anyways, I can go ahead and collect all of this stuff. I can also break the ME drive and put all of my stuff back. Toss that away. Toss. I'm not gonna toss that away. I'm gonna put that in there. Put that in there and put quartz fibers in there. I will pull this stuff out. I will need multiple interfaces and storage buses. Will 5 be enough? Yeah. I know I'll need some quartz fibers, so I have plenty of that. I can also put those all away. Now, I do have the ME quantum rings in here in the central tower already set up. They just aren't plugged in yet. I intentionally unplugged them because, again, they are power-hungry whores. But the good thing is, the good thing is I can only plug in one at a time and then get away with it. Not quite. Also, do I not quite have as many channels as I thought? Oh, it's because, right, there's an energy acceptor on top of this. Never mind. Although, to be fair, I could actually move the energy acceptor to be on top of these dense energy cells, which just being connected to the network, these don't take up any sort of channels and whatnot, so it wouldn't actually be a problem to move these, especially into an area where this flux point wouldn't be a problem. Come to think of it, that's probably a good idea. I would be able to get 32 channels into my Thaumcraft area and 32 into my forestry area independently. Huh. You know what? It's time to get another cable type. Okay, so what am I using right now? I'm using white, light blue, yellow, brown, orange, pink, lime, blue, and purple. If I remember correctly, dense. Red is kinda really just pink. I don't think I'm gonna use magenta. It's too close to purple. Yellow is actually really close to orange. I could use gray or black. Cyan would probably blend in with both light blue and blue too much. These two are differentiable enough on their own, but with cyan in the mix would kind of just be a mess. I could do normal green as well if I wanted to stick with brighter colors. I'll go with green. That way I can do green for forestry and purple for Thaumcraft. Okay, that works. I'll just leave that like that. And now, to move this flux point, okay, and to move the energy acceptor, the energy acceptor will just be on top of brown. I will put the flux point on that side, and it's still connected to the network, still draining power as per usual, which is great. I don't want to have it next to energy cells because I've actually experienced some crashes related to that. Yay! But what I can do right away now, I'm gonna just put that there. It's a little bit of a reminder to myself to go and plug it into that in the future, because again, it's not in use, and I don't have the power infrastructure for it quite yet. So for me to be able to make ME dense smart cable green, ME dense cable fluix, I need 8 of these. Alright, looks like I need to grab cactus green out of here. Just green. Alrighty. I will grab... Should I grab signs? I'm gonna grab signs. I haven't made signs. This way I can go ahead, get a little bit more in terms of channels out. Okay, so this ME quantum ring is powered up now. It will be sucking power out of my ME system. Forestry meadow. This will get one of the singularities. And then this will be Thom. If I can stop mistyping. There we go. So the Forestry Meadow gets the green, the Thom Shop gets the purple. That will be put in a later date. Now I get to go and fill in the quantum ring real fast. I like having the celestial gateways, by the way, because it just sort of makes it a little bit more interesting to travel instead of just teleportation, which is really basic. I mean, this is still technically teleportation, but it's a cooler teleportation, frankly. And by the way, I just realized, I guess I never fixed this the last time I was in here, but this wall, I guess, can just sort of be for, like, the quantum ring. Well, I guess, whatever. Oop. And quantum link chamber. Throw in the singularity. And pull out a cable. Oh, wait. Yes, connect on this end. Let's see. I know it's technically chunk loaded. I don't have... Oh, I could just try and hook up an ME interface. That's on the wrong side. Of course it is. Oh, the dense smart cables can't share a block with these? Oh, that explains so damn much. Okay, then. I know we'll need this sort of stuff anyways, but yeah. 1 of 8 channels, 1 of 32. I know the device technically isn't connecting to anything, but... It still says device offline. Well... That reminds me, I should claim chunks. Okay, I need to, wouldn't you fucking know? Of course I built right in the middle of a goddamn chunk boundary. Oh, I always laugh at this because of the fact that its probability is so small that of course I always do it. I'm moving this. I'm moving this just so that I can avoid having my quantum link chamber having to be loaded by multiple chunks. now I can pull out a bit of dense cable. I can add an interface on a Fluix cable. It'll just take up a channel. It won't technically connect anything, but it'll still take up a channel. So I can go here. I can go to claim chunks. I can claim and chunk load this chunk. So if I'm just chunk loading this specific chunk, if I avoid putting a bunch of stuff in here, that'll be fine. All it'll do is mean that this will automatically stay connected to my link back home, which, by the way, I now need to chunk load. I need to chunk load the ME controllers. And the quantum link chamber. But to be fair, those should be within the same chunk. Right. Oh, yay. I was so worried for a second that they would not be within the same chunk. They abso-fucking-lutely are. Oh, lovely. Perfect. So, just this chunk needs to be chunk loaded. Perfect. This area is chunk loaded. Oh, that's the farm. I don't need to chunk load that anymore. But this chunk, I do need to chunk load it. Okay, so this area is now officially chunk loaded, which means that my ME quantum link chambers should be working. And I should also see a huge spike in the usage of my RF per tick on this. But to be fair, I can produce and store a ton of RF, especially with all the energy cells and dense energy cells that I put on here. I should have enough to be able to store like overnight or whatever. And if I start to run into problems while I'm just like sitting in my forestry meadow, of course I can always go and the quantum rings are two-way. So I totally don't have to worry about storing items in my forestry meadow or anything. But if I want to add power into the system over there, because I don't have all of my power stuff chunk loaded, there, it was behind this, which I still haven't gotten around to doing the attunement stuff. I still need to do that. But yeah, all of my power stuff is up there or down in that building. That's all of my power setup. Oh, and the magma generator there. But that doesn't put into the actual network. This just does local stuff. This is also supposed to act as a supplementary to this, because this is pretty much enough to support everything here. Technically, it could also support more, but because of the fact that it requires a constant amount of fuel to be put in through this, just a bunch of mega blocks and such, I don't want to have that be my main support. It's not infinite. It's not infinite and renewable, like this setup, or the wind and the solar panels. Speaking of, I went and made more solar panels because I have added some EMC values to the pack. I did a couple updates. I actually need to do another one. This coming one will be a mod removal update. I need to remove Bibliocraft because I've experienced crashes, and I'm betting more people will be experiencing crashes because of Bibliocraft. I mentioned that earlier today, but it was something to do with Regeneration's skin handler. It's possibly due to a much more recent update. But there's basically a chance that when you have an armor stand around, that you just crash, when it loads up the armor stand, basically, in your world, and it conflicts. So, I'm removed Bibliocraft. I've disabled it currently. I'm planning on just completely removing it, because just leaving it disabled, I mean, it worked, it fixed it. I'm not going to keep it off. Also, I just realized that the way that this model for the flux ducts opens up like this is probably for the sake of saving on lag, but it looks real weird, but whatever. I guess it has to do with the fact that the solar panels are really short. These also have the ability to accumulate a massive excess of power. Damn. But yeah, these generate 128 FE per tick each. So I don't have to worry about that too much. These are pretty damn efficient. There's also the fact that I have all these advanced solar generators and wind generators. This small solar generator doesn't really do much. It just does like a measly 20 RF per tick. But it helps. It helps as much as it can. And this is outputting 100 or 1.2 thousand RF per tick. So that's pretty damn good. Now, what is the limit for a hardened flux duct? 4,000 RF per tick. So yeah, this is managing everything that's being output and then some. So I could continue to add more up here if I wanted to, but I don't really need to at the moment. I am set for the minute. At least until I set up my thumb shop. Quantum link chamber. At which point I might well want to add a number more solar panels dedicated just for that. It's raining out. Oh right, I have rain shields. I was like, why does it feel like it's a desert? That's because I have rain shields installed to keep me dry around here, which is nice. It's also kind of staggering, like, how big this area is because I have mega torches hidden underneath the bridges. If you can see that underneath the bridge, right there where my cursor is, just above, I'm hovering over it. There's that sort of pole set. That sort of pole is a mega torch to prevent mob spawning all the way out here. I also need to have them in the corners, otherwise it doesn't fully cover everything. So when I was adding this final big tier on the outside, I need to add 8 more. But the rain shields cover enough that I can just put one at all the antipodes. Or antipodes? No, that's not the right word. Well, kind of is. The polar antipodes, the X and Z, as well as having the one in the center. That's enough to be able to cover the entire area. The rain shields do technically overlap a lot, but it doesn't really matter to me so long as they get their job done. Also, I just realized I have a ton of torches in this ring still, even though I totally do not need them. Why do I have torches in this ring? Excuse me, I can't believe I haven't noticed that these are still here until now. I may have subconsciously noticed them, but then just pushed it out of my mind because I completely neglected to remove them. I don't know why I did that, but they're gone now. Okay. Whatever. I really don't know why those were there. Okay, anyways. I need to continue with the forestry thing. Now that I have my setup, I want to get a terminal. I want an ME crafting terminal. I should have like a, what is it, like a quartz wrench or whatever? Yeah. I will probably need to have patterns in this. Or I may well need to have patterns in this. So I'm gonna grab another ME pattern terminal. I'm also gonna grab a stack of blank patterns. No, I don't need nearly that many. 32 is definitely gonna still be overkill, but I'll stick with that. Okay, there goes. It reconnected. Interface terminal. I will gladly duplicate this. That's all I really need. I don't need the matter condenser still, honestly. So I can just toss that in and toss that in. I don't think I had anything saved in there, so yeah. And anything else I had saved in terms of data, technically I didn't need. I already got my singularities, and I don't need to condense a bunch of matter stuff, really. You technically can, but it's not worth it. Anyways, I'm going to keep my nether quartz wrench. Should I get some more cables? I have the green cables. Should I get more ME glass cables? I think I want more ME smart cables because I want to be able to keep track of my channels. So I'll just fill up the stack. Throw the remaining ME quantum link into here. Because I won't need to set that up just yet. Anything else? Not that I can think of. In the meantime, I can warp back on over. I have full access to my ME system, and I won't really need to be crafting with my current setups and everything, so it should be good. It says device offline, but I don't really fully believe that. Let's quickly try and connect up an ME crafting terminal. Does this side need to have power? That's one thought that I just had. Does this side need to have its own power source? I have had trouble keeping these things working in the past. That was in 1.7, although I was doing it interdimensionally, so it was a little bit weird. But the thing with the quantum link chamber is supposed to be that it's supposed to just work, including interdimensionally, mostly interdimensionally. But of course, having it work within the same dimension is still kind of just supposed to happen. But it seems to not be. Why, though? I'll grab a dense energy cell, I guess. This has no power coming into it. So, I don't have an energy acceptor over here, So I can't send power into the onto it over here to connect. That might be intended functionality, actually. Also, I want to... Oh, right, I don't want to put a range shield down because that will slow down certain farms and stuff. Ugh. Okay, fine. Back to Atlantis I go real fast. I'll sleep the night and the rain away. And I'll grab an energy acceptor. I do really need to fill out this sort of house area. That would probably be for the best. Warp back on over this way, because that can be frustrating as hell to actually move around. I know I put up the celestial gateways and everything, but it doesn't always have to work that way. Energy acceptor, and give me a flux point. Transfer limit, fine. Select my network. Okay, so it has power now, but it's not connecting yet. Ugh, crap. Do I need to have my primary energy controllers in the same building and chunk as... Probably. Alright, back to Atlantis. Of course, you can see over here, everything is offline. Oh no. That might be another thing that I actually need to deal with. This isn't in a chunk loaded area, and this is where all my drives are. This is the blue line. Is the ME drive able to accept power through that? Nope. That's another thing I just thought of. It still needs to be within the same chunk. Ugh. Well, damn. Oh no, it goes down. Oh, well then. I could put it over in the warehouse. Actually, that would make the most sense. But I need it to be within the same chunk, so I can't. So, yeah, I have to make do with that. So now, I need to go and get my Flux network controller and backup cell. I get it like a wrecking ball. I never so hard love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. I feel like a wrecking ball. Ooh, I'm holding this diagonally. Interesting. Alright, this is full. Disable the transfer limit. Interesting. I don't think I've seen Flux networks have an update in a while. But this should now be enough. Oh, interesting. I did not know that this was a mode. Oh. Are those large distant chunk borders meant to... Oh! I think I know what these are supposed to symbolize. So in Minecraft, everything is technically made up of giant, giant columns and collections of giant columns. So that everything is able to be sorted out, there are region files. Your world is divided into regions. These giant, so many chunk by so many chunk areas, and that's what that was trying to read. Interesting. I did not know that there was a newer info view for that in the latest version of More Overlays. Huh. That actually is pretty cool. But anyway, this does not hold a lot of power, come to look at it. I may want to store more. Now I know technically, I guess 256,000. I think the transfer limit is either per second or per tick. Of course, that's acceptable amount, so this is fine. What I might need... Okay, so this is the basic flux storage. Let me go over here. This feels so empty without those things, but I mean, I guess whatever. Okay, so flux storage. Now these do have EMC values. Now that I added flux's EMC value, I could make a basic one. Okay, so basic flux storage. Herculean has 12.8 million. And Gargantuan has 128 million. And is 411,000 EMC. Holy crap. I might just want a Herculean. Herculean flux storage. Might as well add another basic and throw that in there. Just click that in. And oop, come on. Come on in. Alright. And on top of that, I can get my Herculean flux storage, and this will fill up with a large buffer over time. Now, of course, this is technically not going to have a ton in it all at once. I will actually give this a priority of 1. Actually, how about I make this just priority 0? Now the network's buffer is currently going down. This isn't going up though, is it? What is currently draining all the power? Is it the fact that Miami quantum rings have finally decided to connect? I don't see a thing in the middle. So no, it can't be that. Oh. This is going down, though. I'm gonna give this priority 8. Surge, normal. This, I don't know. This has seemed to drain, this is drained as well. I wonder if, well, it very well could be the fact that this is now empty and not producing any power. We'll see in a moment. Because this should be producing more power again. I definitely, if this is the case, then I definitely will need to, there is no local buffer or network buffer building up. This seems to be full up. This is still outputting a ton of RF per tick. I don't know. I think that's actually like every bit of power that I can output all at once. Specifically just into my EMI system. Oh, now it's not full anymore. And the network and local buffers are not changing. Now I wonder what that is about and what exactly is sucking up the rest of the power. This is continually pulling out. Okay. 1.5 thousand RF per tick. Maybe I do need more power. Could be that other ME quantum ring. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Solar panel. The solar panel 4s. Now, if I were to make a solar panel 5, this has 512 FE per tick. So, the cost goes from 41,000 to 103,000, but feel like it should be worth it. should. It uses photovoltaic cell 3s. Which use photovoltaic cell 2s. Solar. Solar panel mark 5. What else is missing? A block of gold. Do I have gold blocks in here? No, I don't, actually. I'll just throw a stack of gold back into there, because I want to have some spare gold blocks and such. Oh, I'm so wealthy, am I? I'm just loaded with EMC. Alright. Solar panel 5. Solar panel 6 requires ultimate control circuits. Photovoltaic cell 4s. Its EMC is 276,000. But it produces 2,048 FE per tick. Right. The exponential power of the solar panels. Let's see if these work. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab 2 more so that I can just straight up replace the solar panels that I have in there now. Or up here now. The idea behind this is to hopefully be able to produce way more hours per tick and then be able to hopefully store it? Now, these each in... Or is this all together? Now, I think these individually technically qualify. They do have a connected texture, but I think they individually... Yeah, they individually have different amounts. Okay, you can tell based on what's stored. This has 0 stored. So it was placed at just the right time to be able to instantly have its power drawn. This has a small amount buffered. This has a... Then this also both have a tiny amount buffered before they get sucked away. Right now, light level is perfectly fine. This is inputting 3,100 RF per tick. Awesome. Okay, so this is still only inputting so much. And this is full up on power. This seems to be increasing in its amount. Okay, so we're getting extra power storage. And the Herculean storage is just so big from the looks of it that it's going to take a little while to fill up. But I guess this is over 100,000? Or 100,000 every time it goes up. That's actually a lot, come to realize. My RF per tick is super good. So let's hope that it actually, keeps up and everything. Of course, I could technically move my solar panels into a completely different area and chunk load that. Let's say I were to put it into a non-slime chunk and use like a cave illuminator or like hollowed the chunk out or something. And then it could just like have a ton of power generation in it, and it would just be permanently chunk loaded. That would actually make a lot of sense. I might have to do that in the future, but we'll see about that. Okay, so this is filling up. I love how fast this actually is. Come to realize this, in terms of what power generation I have, this is actually quite good. I mean, to be fair, I guess that means I'm actually not sucking up as much power as I thought, although it really looked like it for a while. Either way, I'm thinking I might be able to go and see if the quantum ring is working in my forestry area. Let's find out! Okay. I have to stand on the actual celestial gateway block. Okay. It's all nice and lit up. It works! Holy shit! It works! Oh, I love this. Ooh. It is at a massive power cost, but the fact that I can keep it up is so awesome and so telling. Okay, I would like to make a bed, if I could, so that if I need to sleep over here, I can. Where should I put this? Let's go there. I know this is kind of going to be a visual mess for a while, but you know what? I don't care. Inside of here is probably going to be very few machines and such, but whatever. Most of the farms and such will just be around. So what I want to do is set up an area with tree breeding, an area with bee breeding, maybe a Pam's Harvest Craft crop area over here. That will probably have a lot of storage drawers stuff specifically connected to my ME system. Yeah, that will definitely have to be connected to my ME system. But another good thing with that is that if ever I then choose to continue on with the Cooking for Blockheads mod to make more interesting things than Bibimbap, which I want to do, by the way, I can just go ahead and set that up. Of course, not everything is quite as neat as Bibimbap in terms of like its sheer amount of food saturation. Like, look at all those saturation bars. So much stuff. So, yeah, these are windy gardens, so... Huh. Awesome. I'm gonna skip that and skip that. I'm gonna skip that. Shade of Light. Blowout. Pixie Dust. Not the World is Not Enough, because this is a good song. Do I have shears? No, I do not. I'd very much like to get me some shears real fast. I just realized how many varieties of modded shears I have. Also, that's such a weird durability. I don't get the logic behind that. 238? That is a very weird number from programming perspective. Because Minecraft stuff is generally based on powers of 2, 230 powers and multiples of 2. Like, you could see something that's like a 48, and it makes sense because it's 16 times 3. You get a lot of little things like that sometimes, especially with EMC values. and sometimes durability. But this doesn't seem to add up in my head. That would equate to 254, which is not 256. I was trying to add 16 to it in my head while I was talking, which didn't work. I had to take a moment. Yeah, no. I don't know why these shears have this durability. They're 18 off from 256. Whatever, though. What other types of shears are there, and what are their durabilities? Bronze are better. Constantan are better. Invar are better. Steel, of course, are better. There are literally two types of steel shears. One has 500 durability, the other has only 388. Wonder which one gets precedence. Platinum shears have a ton of durability. Nickel shears, 288. Aluminum, only 213. That's a little less than that. 1,549 for diamond shears. I can do that. And I can also totally teach this that. Now, oh. I thought you could harvest gardens that way. Maybe that only works with normal shears. I'm gonna check that. I don't have regular shears in my... Excuse me? Oh no! My iron is in storage drawers. Oh no! Of course! I need to have all of my storage in chunks that are chunk loaded. Otherwise my ME system can't access them. Of course, that also means that the lines connecting them also have to be chunk loaded. Okay, so setting this up is going to be a pain, but it'll be great once it's actually done. Right? I hope. Have some potatoes and lettuce and flax. Where do I get the marble? Whatever. Oh, I can also throw in those. Grab the two terminals. Oops, wrong block. Interface terminal and pattern terminal. Take all the patterns. No, not like that, like that. Thank you. Okay, I would like a chest, please, so that I can store all of this crap. I'll just store it locally. Yeah. Alright, I guess it's back over to Atlantis. I will move this. My passive chaos pylon can go there. My transmutation table can go here. No. It can go there. I should set up a wall for this. That'll probably be something I do off camera. I'll figure it out. I'm still kind of unsure about a lot of the build that I have not set up yet. And I do really need to figure out chunks and stuff for this. So I might have some sort of underground storage area for my local stuff. Because bear in mind, I might have to like come over here in order for me to be able to do any sort of auto crafting or whatever, or like restocking that involves any materials that I might make over here. But I can do some sort of bulk storage here, just underneath my ME Quantum Ring and underneath the structure that you see here. I don't know how tall said structure is going to be, so it might even be above. Who knows? I'll have to figure it out. But it's definitely big horizontally. I didn't want it to be small. I never build small, you might notice. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like to build particularly small. It feels odd. Especially with how big and grandiose all the rest of my stuff has been so far. It feels especially inapt to do anything but this. Okay, so I totally need to get within this chunk my my storage bus for my stuff. Okay, I can't come off of that cable without having to chunk load an extra chunk, and I want to avoid chunk loading things if I can. I want this to be symmetrical, but you know what? Fuck symmetry. If it means that I can just do. All right, that. Then I can, I guess, go down. Maybe I add another trapdoor over here. I could also do with cable facades for this stuff that I know I need to add, but yeah, I'll get to that another time. Fell down a hole. So that can open up to that, and this can open up to this. Alright. Down here, I think I have a transmutation table in here. I should totally grab another transmutation table and put it in my center area. Transmutation table. It is only 260 EMC. That's not a lot. Okay. So, where should I put this bad boy? So, give me some ladders. Yes, I know I can fly. Don't have to point that crap out. Or, like, I shouldn't have to point it out to myself either, but I do. I'm actually going to go ahead and make this all oak. Since I want this area to be semi-permanent. some random blocks that wind up getting placed at some point. Also clear out these blocks. Do. Get this out. Ready? I just realized that most of this is actually outside of the chunk that I need to be in, so, yep, it's time to break some more blocks. Oh no, I'm on the nether portal. Ugh. I need to go lower. I need to move my portal room. Yeah, no, that doesn't look good like that. I know I'm leaving a ton of gaps, technically, but I only really need to fill it in so that there's, you know, not two blocks next to each other open. I'm a cheapskate. Have you been able to figure that out? I'm lazy and I'm a cheapskate. Okay. Alright, and now to continue on downward. Oh, I'm breaking into my portal room. Let's just dig a little further down because we can do that. And um, you know what I just thought? Toss that away, toss that away, toss that, toss that. Bye-bye marble, limestone, I don't really need to bother with. I will probably need more oak wood. We'll figure this out in a moment. Meh. I'm tired of that song. No to that song immediately. No thanks. No. 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 Okay. I would like an elevator right away. Give me 3 blocks. Excuse me. Alright, because this gives me access to this area. And I can go all the way up. Sweet! And I don't have to leave that really open. Oop. Come on. Break that one. That. Wood. Get rid of this random weird pillar because that's not necessary or anything. Perfect. Oh, Just sort of let this go as is a distance. Alright. That should be good. Okay, down here, I know I need more lighting. So I'm gonna right away go ahead, start breaking all these wall blocks. No, I don't need to worry about those, but I do need to worry about these. I know it's not super bright right now, but it's about to be a lot brighter. Where's the center of this wall? This wall does not have a center. That's the answer. That's better. Alright, F7 doesn't see any spots, and I can turn off F9. Oh, my elevator is considered one of the blocks destroyable by that. Okay. Right. Let's grab a full stack. One of the many perks of the dank null. Alright, I can totally expand out that way if necessary. This room is super undecorated, so I might actually make it... Whoa. Yeah, this feels a little disorienting, almost. This is more so meant to be just a back room sort of situation, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, Ooh, that reminds me. Isn't there, like, packing tape for drawers? Yes, there is. Now, you can give it unbreaking. Mending, cursive vanishing, auto smelt. Auto smelt? No. Withering. Shimmer, of course. Smelting again. Or smelting, which is a completely different enchantment than auto smelt. Smelting is from CFH Core. Auto smelt is from Ender Core. Okay, so you can give this unbreaking. Remind me what it costs to make unbreaking 3. 18 levels. Right. And I don't really have that much XP left in here after enchanting this thing. Yeah. I really should make some sort of XP grinder or whatever. Whatever. I should go ahead. This only has 8 durability. Okay, bitch, fine. Give me a limestone panel. Put that down. I know there are a lot of drawers to move, but thankfully, 1, 2, and 3. I can totally go ahead and break down into this floor. I'm thinking that I will actually build it into the wall. Just so that there's space. Right, this is not in an area where I can put it in the background. So... Actually, better idea. Put it up on the highest level. That way I can keep all the cables and stuff hidden. Storage bus. Give me those Fluix cables. The capacity card. Was that necessary for this? It might have been. Either way, it's time to start putting down the drawers. They are not going to be particularly organized anymore, but that's fine. Maybe I should do sea lantern lights. probably will turn out much better. I will toss that in. Any spare sea lanterns in here? Yes. 4. Give me that, and give me these. Boom, boom, marble bricks. Sea lantern and a sea lantern, a sea lantern and a sea lantern. No. No thanks. Meh. No. Meh. Nah. No thanks. Sure. Spooky, scary skeletons. Sure, there's you do tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons. It's such a screech. They shake and shiver in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons. You're so misunderstood. You're want to socialize, but I don't think we should. The spooky, scary skeletons. Your sarcophagus and just won't leave you be. I do like how this fits really nicely within this wall. Of course, I can continue to extend this around the room, on this side at least, because of course this wall is up against the chunk. Technically, if I wanted to, I could shrink this side down and then have drawers on this side, extending from around here, so that it would be on 3 sides. Of course, again, I can also continue to have more drawers behind, because the drawer controller has a pretty wide range of where it can actually connect to. So I do have a lot of leeway with this. Just so long as it's within this chunk, it's good. Yes. All those memory card messages. Stupid. I just realized where the marble bricks came from. I had a hunch. I thought of it when I broke those marble bricks earlier, just a moment earlier. So yeah, I did break this while I was moving my Flux Network storage. Okay. So now all of this stuff is within the one chunk. And my Herculean flux storage is full. Awesome. Okay. So I'm currently using 9 of 32 channels on this bad boy. Well, actually 11. Gotta remember the ME drives. I have quite a bit of extra storage space left too, still. So that's pretty good. Excuse me. All in all, my network is great. Is just this great, big, awesome thing. I love it. We didn't get to bees today, or I don't think we'll get to bees today, but that's fine. All in all, we did a lot of little bits of tidying up and making sure that things can actually, you know, work. This is so empty on this wall now, but that means that we have space for more machines along this wall for me to put down. So that'll be for future stuff. Whatever I wind up putting on here. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be real cool. And, I think, that's all set up. That's all said and done. it's working and everything. I don't have access to my infinite or small amount of infinite building materials, like specifically from over here. My limestone, cobblestone, stone, and sand. I could technically import bus those. I could create a chest with only one open slot. Actually, no. No, don't do that. Trying to think, what would be a good way to do that so that I could have all of my stuff that's building up in here actually be, through the ME system, preferably, moved over to there. I could technically dump it into an ender chest, but I feel like that would just clog up with one type of item. Honestly, it probably would be the cobblestone or something. I would actually probably wind up having to do multiple ender chests, knowing my luck. What other possibilities are there? Besides just running a ton of item conduit. See, the one thing is that ME conduit, if I'm not mistaken, technically only works, like Fluix cables. So it only allows you to, I'm talking about the ME conduit from, Ender.io. There's dense ME conduit. Ooh, okay. I could... Oh, this would be annoying. But I could put a chest on all of these individually, have them all extract, set to extract from the chest, just the, or with a blacklist to filler item. Let's say the filler item is dirt, because you can't make that in a igneous extruder. That might actually work. Might is the big word. Of course, that would require me making the dense semi-conduit, but this is actually, like, really cheap. And I think dense ME conduit is probably gonna be able to transfer the same number of channels as a normal dense ME covered cable. In which case, that would work perfectly good for me. And this is, like, dirt cheap. Of course, it's not ME smart cable, so it's not gonna show, stuff. I'm gonna turn down the volume on this just a little bit. Metals chest condenses metals to blocks. I think this is what I should do then. I should convert the area that connects over to here to dense ME conduits. Pipe that along over to here, so that it still has the same number of channels that it technically can do. I just have to do the main line, by the way. I don't even have to do the stuff that extends into that area, because the dense ME conduit does connect to normal ME conduits and such. I think this technically, or this maybe, we'll find out. Maybe this can connect to. Oh, it's actually gonna need to be able to connect. I didn't think about that part. It's gonna need to be able to connect to other dense ME cables. But the good thing is that it's cheap. Okay, so item conduits and the dense ME conduits will be able to share a block space, so I don't have to dig up a bunch of extra space in order to be able to place down some fucking item conduits. You know? Look at my laptop again. Alright. I have an idea of what to do. I will need to get the packing tape again. Okay, so dense ME conduit requires ME conduit. I need conduit binder. ME conduit. And I'm just gonna leave it. And dense ME conduit. I don't need 2 stacks, I don't think, but I should probably just make up for it. And now item conduit. I will also add a basic item filter. How many will I need? I need 4. These will be for the blacklist of the outputs, because I'll just put in dirt in every single slot of a chest except for a center slot. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so I won't need this to connect to my ME system anymore. Not this area, anyway. I know this is actually the dense ME conduit, but it's dirt cheap, so I don't care. I can extend it over this way just because, I guess. Whatever. Let's see. Alright. It did indeed connect. So that's great. Okay. Just double checking that this is all there. Because this is not smart cable, it's not capable of being smart cable. I won't be able to see if the channels are connecting until I am all the way at the end of this. So, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, now time for the item conduit. This one's to be insert. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a long-ass cable. Oh, it's stacking! Okay, I didn't see that. Guess I should realize, but okay. Boy, oh boy, this is gonna get crazy. Ah, that's why I could see that. I was like, wait, why are all my cable covers missing? They aren't. They're just hidden when I'm holding this. Which is pretty damn cool. Okay. So, alrighty. Mm-hmm. Do. This better work. I know this is going to be really, really long, and it might cause lag, and it might be slow at times, but... Wait a minute. No, I don't need the cable this far out. Oh, crap. I'll have to fix that. Okay, fine, whatever. Yes, there is item conduit the entire way down. Remove the drawer controller. I'm gonna pack these up. Collect them. I will set it to no longer extract from that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is gonna be a little bit of a mess, I think. Oh hi, you should add Twilight Forest so you can get pranked with cicadas. No. Cicadas are frankly annoying. But I forget if I actually already have the Twilight Forest in here. I do have the Twilight Forest. So there's that. Excuse me. Okay. No. No. Alright, I gotta finish this real fast. I'll grab 4 chests. I should also grab myself another sea lantern real fast because I broke that one. No response. Get some cicadas then. Oh. Yeah, I know it took a moment to respond. But I don't have cicadas. I don't need to bother with cicadas at the moment, dude. I'm gonna switch it over to never active. I might actually just disable extract from these straight up. That's actually probably a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Now for the chess. All right. Disable auto output. Disable auto output. This does need to be input from the top. Will be output from the side. Then bring Andrew with them. Well, see, Andrew's not in this world. I'll make it face this way. Alright, there I got just the atom conduit. I will need to set up all of these filters. I just need to, like, put dirt in the majority of these places. Throw in a extract filter. Blacklist dirt. Don't extract from there. Don't extract from there. And don't extract from there. This is a little dire wiry, but I'm not direwolf, so it doesn't matter. It works, right? Right. Put dirt in all but one of the slots. Limestone in the center. Double check. Blacklist. Blacklist dirt. Blacklist dirt. Blacklist dirt. Okay. That and that and that and there. I can go ahead. I can toss this stuff back in there. Extra fruits, cables, and shit like that. An extra ME storage bus. I'll grab a stack of stone. Sandra's not full. I do have multiple of cobblestone. So there is that fact. Guess it doesn't really matter. And limestone obviously is not full yet. I'll just throw this in my normal ME system. Well, I guess that'll also output it, but always active, and make sure that this can auto output. Aha! This is the back face. Output. Auto output enabled for that one. And I'll make sure that this is extract always active. Auto output is enabled. And extract always active. Enable auto output. Lovely, it's going in there, and then always active, and it's getting pulled right back out. Perfect. Alright, and then once it runs out of room, I think it'll stop trying to pull. Yeah, notice it's no longer pulling extra blocks, and this is just making them, and then they're just backstuffing in here. So it filled up that last half stack in the thing, and it's all good now. Awesome! Okay. Of course, limestone is continually being pulled out, but that's fine. I now have access to all of that. You know what? That actually felt really good to have done. Central bulk storage. I actually don't mind that. As strange and kind of hokey as the massively long item conduit is, the fact that dense ME conduit is so damn cheap is actually, like, real incentive to use that. So, yeah, I should really have that dense ME conduit everywhere. From Ender.io, if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna stop music because this is where I'm wrapping up. It's 9:10. I haven't been streaming for a full 3 hours, of course, because I started late. That was due to some crashes and stuff. I mentioned it at the start, but I didn't really go... I kind of went into depth about it throughout the whole thing. Basically, Bibliocraft was having problems with the regeneration mod. I don't know what it was underlying. But I know it had to do with Bibliocraft's armor stands and Regeneration skin handler. That's the most I know. Because Regeneration has the skin changing handler, which is why I look the way I do instead of have it set up so that I can do whatever. Skin. So this is, I think, just a list of every skin that I have. That's actually a pretty nice looking skin. What is this one? Oh, I remember that one. I think I actually regenerated into that skin once. Remember having a bad trait. I actually have a lot of skins. This is the one I have, I believe. Some of them look kind of like duplicates of each other. Yes, there's a Deadpool skin. I intentionally wanted to become Deadpool, at least once. Oh yeah, and that's when I'll become a dark mage. Oh jeez. Captain America! And I think I've cycled. Okay, yeah. This goes on so far. I think that's a little bit of a gooey issue, but I'll let Swit or whatever their name is, Switz, I think. Um, Switz seems to be the head mod dev for regeneration. I think that's their mod. Anyway, I'll let Switz figure that out. I'm not a Java modder, or well, not a Java markup modder. I'm also not a Java programmer in general, so I don't know anything about that crap. So, anyways, that should do it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more streams from myself. If you liked, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe maybe. I say that twice because it's always nice. I'm just forgetting what's next. Right, hit the bell for notifications as to when I go live or when I upload a video. I did just recently upload a video. It's the final episode of my coming out on top series with my boyfriend. Not of the entire series, mind you. We are going to be doing Ian's. We just finished Brad's. Note that it is a little not safe for work. So if you want to check it out, view at your own discretion. Yes, but it does have timestamps for most of the episodes where things happen. The final episode does not have timestamps because there's just too much, and it's kind of a matter of your personal boundaries as to what you put in or would consider the timestamp of where you would cut off your viewing time. Anyways, that'll be about it. But speaking of my boyfriend, you can totally find his channel in the top of any video with him featured in it. So you won't find his channel link in this video description, but you will find his channel link in every other video description with him. Anyway. We also totally stream every Thursday at 7 p.m. US Central Time. And I totally should have started streaming today at 6 p.m. US Central Time, but I started at about 6:30 to 7 because, again, crashes! Aren't they just lovely? Bibliocraft will be removed from this mod pack, by the way, because it's A, not been updated in forever, B, if it's gonna have continual problems with regeneration, and because I want to keep the regeneration mod in, just because of the fact that regeneration is one of those rarer mods that you don't really see it having too many downloads or inclusions in packs. I think regeneration is one of those mods that should be in my pack. I'm gonna remove Bibliocraft because Bibliocraft is kind of meh. I might add Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod in replacement though. That might be what I do. I just don't want to have too many like items that overlap. Like, I have cooking for blockheads, which means that the kitchen cabinets from the Mr. Crayfish mod are a little bit conflicting, just in like what they do. Though that doesn't mean that I don't have other conflicts in what things do. I have plenty of various item conflicts, that they don't always work the same. It's a matter of, what you want to do and whatever. So I think I might still add Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod. I have also been, for the longest time, been debating, do I want to include something like little tiles or chisel and bits? Now, I need to look into little tiles to see exactly what little tiles is like. I haven't really used much of it, but I know that it is in some other mod packs, specifically Omnifactory. Omnifactory has the little tiles mod, and I haven't played around with that yet. I need to look into it, see if it's lag-friendly. I know that chisels and bits can actually be quite efficient in terms of CPU power, because of the fact that its renderer engine is, like, clever as fuck, basically. Got a giant angle that you have a bunch of bits running up along. It'll create a bunch of tiny triangles and then one big triangle. It's that smart, I think. No, never mind. It does rectangles. So it'll make as few rectangles as it can. That's what I'm trying to think of. Minecraft forces everything to be rendered as rectangles. Anyway, I'm rambling. Oh, autosave. Encoding overloaded. OBS screams at me. No, it was just an autosave. Don't worry. It thinks because it's not getting much input and there's a bunch of CPU power being used up that it's not able to encode correctly. Don't worry, it's fine. It's just an autosave. That's what this game is like when you inject nearly 200 mods. Gotta love Java. Yay! I don't know. Anyways, that should do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, I will get on Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod. I'm pretty sure I want to add that. I will see about Chisels and Bits. I've been mulling it over. I'm not sure I want to add it. I don't know if I want to add little tiles either. I haven't ever played with little tiles again, so I don't really know which one's better. I know that Chisels and Bits is pretty damn efficient though, as I was saying. So, I'll see about it. At least it's not forged microblocks, which I do have to have in this pack because of the fact that some of the things in this pack require forged microblocks, which means that people are reduced to using forged microblocks for stuff. Like me. I had to use forged microblocks to make dark prismarine slabs. Ay. Anyways, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. One last time. This is Guy Smith signing off. Until next time, take care. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye! Also, I'm reminded of the fact that my fashion choices are always terrible. For once, they're not the worst. But then this ruins it. So it's like color balance. Also, the orange frame on the amethyst highlight topaz. Totally the topaz part of that makes the frame look so off. Otherwise, it would be a lot better. Anyways, that'll do it. Bye! Oh god. I was moving around way too fast, I think.